Right.
So, do you guys think you can use your mind to create your reality?
That's the only way reality is created.
I mean, is that a yes, a no, or a maybe? Online as well? Here, I'll put on the little chat.
There's a song called "I Gotta Be Me," and a lyric I really like is, "The dream that I see makes me who I am."
The dream that I see makes me who I am.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. I really like it.
I think that's really true,
Yeah.
because it's what you see. So then I'll ask you. Yeah, I've got a question for you. Yeah. Can you use your mind to create your own reality? Oh.
Well, what else are we gonna use?
I mean-
5 senses?
I mean, many people believe that their mind is created by their environment. Many people believe that their thoughts are just conducive to not only their environment, but the way they were brought up. And how they were brought up is now the way they think.
If Earl Nightingale would say, you can absolutely care about your reality, what you think.
I agree.
Right?
Do you agree with him?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What about you? Do you
I
agree?
agree, absolutely, and I think it's harder in some times than others.
So we all agree that this is a skill set
Yeah,
Yeah.
to practice it.
to become who we want to be.
That's why we're here.
So I'd really like to say that it only takes, boom, boom, pow, 1 hour a week, and then we're good to go and your whole life has changed. Wouldn't that be beautiful? But everybody's looking for that magic pill, right? Maybe. I think they have many different names. Prozac is just one of them.
Yeah.
For only a limited amount of time. How about, can you create the life that you want to experience? Is that something you believe? Can you create the life that you want to experience? Can you? Yes or no? Blurt it out.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Yes.
T'as pas l'air vendu là-bas, toi? You?
I said maybe.
Maybe. Tell me why.
Yeah, doubtful.
Doubtful. Well, doubt is such a powerful word.
Yeah,
It's one of those words that, like, the minute you give it just a little space, it'll go in and it'll carve out the world. So maybe doubtful.
I feel like it's hard to guarantee, like, I want this, I'm gonna get it for sure, and there's no way it's not gonna happen.
Mm.
That's.
There's no way that I'm guaranteed that it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
And so then, if it's not guaranteed it's gonna happen, that gives you what? Doubt. And then doubt is gonna walk in and it's going to doubt is like termites. You get one, you've got a family of them, the whole thing, it's burned down your house. Right? So what do? We have two choices. We don't let in the termites, or build a house of brick. And maybe this 1 hour a week will teach you how to build that house of brick. And if you do let the termites in, it ain't gonna do nothing. Right? If I were to tell you to write down the things that you'd like to experience, would you be able to clearly define that? Yeah? Let's shoot out a couple. Clearly define, what are the experiences you want to live? Say it.
I'd like to be a amateur boxing champion.
Okay, so you'd like to be a boxer.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well,
What defines a boxer?
why would you want to be a boxer?
Something I've always wanted as a little boy.
Why?
Because I love the movie Rocky.
How do you see boxers?
I see them as warriors. see
Mhm.
myself as a warrior.
Mhm.
I like the idea that there's only one winner and there's only you that is in the ring.
Ooh, spotlight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, putting your hands up. The aggressive training that comes with it, I like beating and I like to be beat.
Huh.
In that context, there's only one true test to see who is the winner in that competition. There's no.
So what do you think that gives you at the end of the day? If you sum it all up,
Ego.
perhaps. And what does your ego give you?
Self-confidence.
Ooh.
They're the same thing. They are how I see myself. That's what my ego is. It's how, well, that depends on which version of the ego we're defining, but the version that I like to use is the way I see myself.
Okay, so you want to experience becoming a boxer. Okay, do you know? I think what would be interesting is for you to dig in a little bit deeper and see what it actually defines and what you actually get from that to the lower root.
Well, I like the violence, I gotta say.
That's okay, he likes the violence.
Oh, I can't believe, I thought this was a safe space.
You're so
On my birthday.
funny. I mean, what if I were to tell you that we all kind of desire the same things, it's just they're packaged in different boxes. And so what Stephanie's doing is she's not talking about what you actually want or desire, she's just talking about that box, it's just a different box. Right?
Self punishment. Maybe.
We all want to live the ideal version of ourselves, right? Or do we? I don't know, I'm asking.
I want all the boxes. I want many different things. I want to be great at a lot of different things.
Mhm.
I don't want to be a great musician. I want to be a great business. I want to be a great a partner.
What is that? What is all this stuff he's talking about? What is that? What is that called?
It's called the buffet of life.
It's called ambition,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I would say I'm ambitious.
Okay, so that's what I want you to write down. I want you to write out, I am ambitious. Do you like that about yourself?
That's my favorite quality.
Amazing.
Between ambition and.
I am ambitious and I love being ambitious. We spend so much time talking about all the things that are shit. Right? And we don't spend any time talking about the great things about ourselves. What about the fact that you want to live joy? Who wants to live joy? We all do. It's just packaged in different boxes. Right? How about you were to write, I love to enjoy joy. I love to live joy. Now, the way you package that is your choice. So what makes you joyful? Elias likes to feel joy by getting beaten. Right? And that's your choice. But my question is, how do you live joy? What is joy for you?
For me,
Sure.
I think it's a combination of abundance, safety, and community.
Yep.
All packaged. Like if I find those three things, I'm gonna be in bliss, complete bliss.
Okay, so if I say, so let's define them. So we said,
You're sick in your home, you've got your people, you've got everything you need.
define safe. Like, no one's gonna put a bomb under your house and blow it up, or no one's gonna come in and steal all your shit. Like, how are you defining safe?
No threat.
No threat. Okay,
And sometimes, sometimes you gotta put your head in the sand like an ostrich. And it helps.
why?
To not think that, the store's being vandalized downtown, well, that's gonna happen to your home. It's, I like to.
And you define it as
Some
the,
people will go to that, that
sure.
dark
Oh my
space.
God, somebody got shot in Montreal North.
Somebody
Or
got.
sorry, somebody got shot on my street, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody got shot in Quebec, some guy came out with a samurai on Quebec City on Halloween,
Mhm.
and it's gonna happen here.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen next Halloween. Are you kidding?
right. So what is that?
That's spider up here, spider.
Uh-huh.
It's letting in the termites for sure.
It's letting in the termites,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's letting in the doubt that if it happened, it's
Yeah, there's a chance, I guess, but.
right.
1% chance.
But part of that is maybe looking at your situation and saying, am I overreacting out this?
Mhm.
Right? So self-reflection on that. Right? So I ask you what
Normalizing.
normalizing, that's a great word, normalizing it. So everybody wants to live joy, and you define joy with safety and bliss. What's bliss for you?
Well, safety, abundance, community, not being alone and, having everything I need around me and not being threatened.
Okay, so you said bliss, right? At some point? Yeah. So you, for joy, you said bliss. What is bliss for you?
I mean, it's all I could hope for.
Bliss. How do you define bliss?
What's the difference between bliss and joy? Because joy, I can answer your question, but bliss, I don't know what's.
Bliss, I think, and guys, this is all right. These are all suitcase words. They have a million definitions, but for me, blissfulness has a big piece of harmony and peace.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right?
Blissful ignorance, right? Just like
Ooh,
you allow yourself,
I-
you allow yourself just like being.
so that full vulnerability.
It's like,
Is that what you mean?
Like, being in line, Willy Wonka's line, and just like.
Willy Wonka's line with all the chocolate.
It's
Yes, I can eat all the chocolate and it's not going to go anywhere in my body. Did I get the winning ticket?
probably.
That's so cute, Willy Wonka. What about abundance? Is that something everybody wants to feel and live?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we all have these things in common, why do some get it and others don't?
We're willing to put in the work maybe to do it.
And what would the work be?
It depends on whatever you're going after, so. Like if it's like abundance of friends and family time and everything, then you have to, set up time with them or making new friends or.
So you
becoming
believe,
a better friend.
so do you believe it's more external? It begins with the external and then it comes into the internal?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because if it's like, let's say a work goal, you have to, I think mindset's a huge part of it, but it's also doing the work and. Yeah, like externally, you have to do it. Like outside of your mindset.
But it comes from you first.
Yeah.
You decide you want to live joy, so you go out and you live a joyful life. Simple, right?
Yeah.
Right? You want to live abundance, you want to be enlightened, so you go out and do that. Then what happens?
Something bad happens, like something doesn't go your way or like something messes up.
So do we agree that when we say and we ask the universe, I want to have abundance in my life, that whatever I ask, I shall get in 1 second? Go now. Do we believe that? Or do we believe that there's a journey? Do we believe that what we ask of the universe comes by snail mail? What if I told you that? What if I told you that whatever you ask for will come to you as long as A, you believe in it, and 2, you know that snail mail still exists? It really does. Not everything is as instantaneous as a message, as a call, as, right? And the fact that it takes time is actually allowing you to see if the termites are going to come in. If it doesn't come now, I let the termites in. Really? So what do you really, really want to experience that you've allowed the termites to come in before you were able to get your snail mail?
Well, there's one thing I like to tell my son like every week, which is, you gotta do the things that you don't like to have an experience.
and get the things that you do like. You know, like the word comes before the gift or the sensation.
And what if I told you it's not about the gift, but it's about what you learn as you do the work?
Yeah.
That's who you,
It's who you become that matters more than, the little chocolate at the end.
Chocolate is irrelevant.
Because most of the time, once you get the chocolate, you'll feel unfulfilled. It wasn't about getting to your destination, because you change and you grow within your journey, and the person you grow and change into may be even bigger than the chocolate you were going for.
Yeah, 100%.
And nobody sees unfulfillment as exactly that. You grew during your journey bigger than what you made your cookie to be.
Yeah,
How many times does that happen?
every time, consciously or unconsciously. But if you read, I think if I do an accounting of all of that, yeah, every time. But that,
Every time.
that
And then,
explains why it's unfulfilled.
you damn yourself. I can't believe I did this much and I'm unfulfilled. This sucks.
Yeah, how many times do you hear somebody saying, I sacrificed all this just for that?
Termites, right?
Yeah,
So what if we were to reframe it and see it opposite and see, wow, I grew even further than what my chocolate, I thought this was going to be my chocolate, but things are so much bigger. I've grown more than what the chocolate was. Whoa, that changes your life. You don't even remember who that person was. And you're like, you know what? I wanted this little piece of chocolate. And now, damn, I'm going for the chocolate cake. The whole damn thing. And then once you get the chocolate cake, you're like, maybe I grew so much to have my own chocolate factory. Wonka, Willy Wonka. So, what do you have to tell yourself today to believe what we just came up with right now?
embrace the suck.
Is that what you got to say?
Yeah, embrace the difficult.
All right.
part of it. Dig in more, do it. The part that you want to do the least, do it the most.
Okay.
yeah, like. Even if the results are not coming, like just keep going through the journey and keep doing what you're doing, and it's like a blind faith almost,
Blind faith.
yeah.
I'm going to have a question for you for that after.
Well, it's realizing that every step of the way you're picking up those nuggets. Those nuggets are probably bigger when you add them up than what's at the end of the trail. Right?
Yeah, little cookies.
A little cookie, but you're going for the pack of cookies, when in fact, to get there, you're picking up more cookies along the way than that's actually at the end of the trail.
And what if you collected more cookies than what the final cookie basket was? Then Cookie Monster happy, but then you are really unsatisfied and you'll go down the slide of this wasn't good enough, this was unfulfilling, this was this was that. And then you bring yourself down a whole trail of things as saying, I can't believe I sacrificed so much. Right? But the reframe is, what if I grew bigger than the cookie I've given myself? What if now it's so much bigger? And so what controls that? What controls that? What controls that?
The idea of
Your perception, right?
Mhm.
It's your perception. Your perception then decides this. What about your mood? I hate my mood. Some emotion on my emotion. No, I think you're going for a double layer cake there. That's it. So you tell yourself, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, not having a good day, throw it all in the garbage. And your mood changes your perception. So when I asked you, your thoughts, does it create your reality? We got some yeses, we've got some maybes, and it all comes down to what? How you see life today, and that's mood. And your perception comes from where? Or I should ask. I should ask. Which one is real? Which one is real? Which perception? Which one is it? Monday's perception, Tuesday's perception, Wednesday's perception?
Combination of all. Or maybe whatever, what you believe at the time. Maybe it's like, maybe the truth is whatever it is in the moment.
What if I told you they all exist all at once? It all depends on the one you choose to see, hence your perception. They all exist. They all exist at once. And no, Ben, I'm not going to talk about quantum physics. I'm not going that way. I'm not going into quantum physics. Nope.
Going interstellar. Okay.
No, I'm not going there. Because the last time I went a little wonky on everybody on the anchors, I lost everybody. I'm not going there. Oh. Yes. Quantum physics is very interesting, but as I said, we're not going to touch that today because it's a little heavy. But if we all say that they all exist at the same time, we all know they exist at the same time. Which one you choose to live? Which one do you choose to live? And can you consciously make that choice? Who says yes, who said no? Yes? You can consciously make that choice. How do you do that?
We create big time life here. Oh my God, I love it.
How do you do that?
You notice your triggers. And you change your state.
I'm gonna add another one in there. How about audit your thoughts? Right? You audit your thoughts, and then you create the one you really want. And then based on the one you really want, you then say, that's what I'm doing now. Disciplined action. That's the one I'm doing now, because all of the other realities exist. All of them exist, right? And if all of them exist, any of them can exist for me right now. Which one do I choose? Because it is a choice. And once you choose, just do it over and over and over and over again, right? We were talking about reframing. What if you were a master reframer? How would that change your life? What if you could reframe your thoughts? That just takes practice. It is available for everybody. When I asked you, how can you create your own life? Can you create your own universe? And you guys said yes. Well, how can you do that? By first reframing your thoughts.
By accepting that multiple options exist.
All of them exist. All of them. What if I told you there was every single infinite version of yourself that existed out there? And you could pick the one that you wanted to be. And all you got to do is do that every day.
Where are you getting this?
Mhm.
Great stuff.
Not bad, eh?
Great.
I can give you a bibliography on all my resources.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna bore everybody else, so we'll take that one on the side.
Because it kind of like makes me think of like, 29 tonalities, right?
Yeah.
That we can use in sales. And, it's like every conversation we have, we're gonna come like mix it up. Whereas, kind of like our daily life, like during the day, we're gonna go through like all these different tones, tonalities that we're gonna use to get through different parts of the day. It's the same thing in the sales process where we kind of like, we cruise along, our line here to get like, through a script or whatever, and to get the close at the end. And I think more often than not, like we do a conscious effort while we're on the phone or whatever until it becomes unconscious, and we're just writing it. We're just gunning, we're just going from A to B, and case closed, right? Kind of like I think with the daily life that we lead, we kind of like do it unconsciously, which needs to be reframed, and we need to like own it. We have to be a bit more conscious about what we do, like every moment of the day, which is like, yeah, I want to be like upbeat. I want to have like I want to be happy. I don't want to be sad when I'm, you know, when I'm here doing training, you know. Oh, you know.
See what you just said? I don't want
And-
to be sad.
Yeah.
You know what your brain hears is be sad.
Yeah, you just say negative things, sad.
But you could say, I don't want to be depressed.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sad. I don't want to have low
Why do you have
self-confidence.
to be-
And all your mind fears is low self-confidence, low self-esteem,
Yeah.
disappointed, angry. Right? So if we were to reframe all those
Yeah.
words, that's what your brain hears.
Just say yes and it's positive.
Your brain is programmed by your thoughts.
Yeah.
Your brain is programmed by your thoughts.
Be happy, be happy.
How about I am happy? You know why I'm happy? Because I'm grateful for what I have.
Yeah.
You know why I'm successful? Because I bring my best foot forward in everything that I do.
Yeah.
And through that, I find gratefulness and I feel appreciated within the environment in which I live in. Oh, how does that change shit? Changes everything, right? So,
And you also, I mean, you've also chosen to, you know, to follow your course, right? Through all your studies and then being here and then, you know, doing workshops, I think, you know, that kind of builds you, right? Whereas I think for some people, the day-to-day work doesn't necessarily go well.
but I think that is again a choice, right? So
Right.
if,
Because they decide, oh, I don't like.
or maybe they just don't know how. So what if I told you that people
don't work
don't
hard
do
enough.
things, but because they don't know how?
Yeah.
And when we say don't know how is, if I were to tell you what you wanted to live right now, and I wanted you to write me 3 paragraphs, that would take a while. You'd probably go into ChatGPT and ask them, what do you want? Right? But think about it. That's what people would do because most people need to be told what they actually want.
Yeah.
Right? You'd probably go to ChatGPT and say, what should I think now?
I want a blank page. Yeah,
Right? So
people don't have a blank page for their lives.
what if it was simple? What if it was linear? If I worked out every day, I would. If I read every day, I could. What if I carefully crafted what I ate? Would I be lean and healthy? If I didn't go through my ups and downs of moods, what connections could I create? And what if I added discipline in my life? Who could I be? Muhammad Ali. If
Right.
your efforts fail, sometimes instead of saying I give up, it's another path shows up. And I say that because sometimes the rock seems so big when we fail only once, and that we realize that everything comes through snail mail. You're going to hit a couple of rocks and you're going to hit a couple of valleys and you're going to wonder why. But if you knew that it's all about, building your will, intensifying your courage, and blowing up your imagination, you would then understand why they were there. Your perception is basically where your root comes from, right? You think the way you were taught to think. You grew up in a specific standard, in a specific house, with a specific family, with a specific trail of thoughts. And guess what? Has it ever happened to you that your parents come to you and say, oh my God, I am so proud of you for everything that you are and everything that you have built? Has that ever happened? And if so, why?
Well, I can speak personally because my mom has said this, but She loves me and she's proud of the progress I've made and who I am today, and I'm sure she feels like she contributed to that too. So
Yeah.
definitely in that.
Anybody else? What if I told you it's because in some shape or form, you've overexceeded their expectations of their root? You've overexceeded everything they thought you could have possibly become. And that is why they are proud and they feel like they're part of they're part of your success. What happens when it's the other way around? You're a disappointment. I can't believe that this is what you've done with your life. And you know, that whole, we're not going to unpack that whole box. We know how that looks like, but what does that mean? What does that mean? Comes back to their expectations. Their expectations is that, you know, you should have cured cancer before ChatGPT did. You should have been the prosecuting lawyer in New York. Their expectations of you were the expectations that they had in their mind of what it would have been. And that is the shadow in which you live in. So it comes back to what? Perception. Perception. So what's your perception? Which one do you take as absolute truth? Is it your thoughts? Is it your actions? Is it your desires? Is it your clarity? Is it your vision? Which one is it? Which one is it? Because everything you ask for will come in snail mail. Everything that you ask for will come in snail mail. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I got you guys thinking a little bit, right? I got you guys thinking.
You always do.
So what are you going to create today?
Today, I am going to create a better piano player. Practices that.
But you would have done that normally, right?
As in without this class.
Yeah.
What action am I going to take in because of this class? I cannot think of one.
Okay.
That's just work that it's always. Yeah, it's always a part. I mean, it's just becoming part of my daily thoughts. It's fun.
Okay. What about you? What will you decide to create right now, today?
I don't know, because I feel like I've been really actively working to change my thoughts when I'm like veering, but sometimes I can't bring myself to, it's like, okay, I'm this, but it's like the little voice is like.
That's practice.
Yeah.
That's just practice. And how could you practice that?
Maybe like writing it, like finding, instead of just thinking it, like writing it, saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Finding more concrete ways to.
Different types of vocalization.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
Create opportunities
Okay. How will you do that?
that I set up for every day. An entrepreneur, it's my job to create opportunities, new deals, new synergies, new partnerships, new relationships. Whether they be on the phone or in person.
Yeah.
How
So,
many new opportunities, I mean, the day's events are gonna tell me.
sure.
I do have an objective, at the same time, probably I hinder my objective by saying, well, whatever the universe throws at me, but at the end of the day, I mean, relationships, and opportunities they take become snail mail sometimes, you know?
They take time.
It's like, yeah, like I do want them to come in faster and in bigger numbers, but. You know, I just have to put my best foot forward and hope and be there to receive it.
What about,
Available.
what about? Has it ever happened, you walked into a room and then like, you walk into that room and you feel a person's energy? You feel the vibration of that person?
Yeah,
Has that ever
was
happened?
34 minutes ago.
Who are you looking at right now?
Has that ever happened? Where you walk in and you can feel or A, the vibration of a room, or B, the vibration of one specific person? Some can bring you up.
Yeah.
And some can bring you down. What do you do with that? Do you choose to receive that? What do you choose to do with that?
Go away from the ones.
Yeah,
I mean, most prospects we hit, you know, are gonna be able, and we gotta bring them up, we gotta be that, you know, that driving force.
Mhm.
In a lot of cases, I mean, rarely is a prospect gonna say, let's go, Stan, like.
I'm so happy you called me, wow.
Like, somebody, like, yeah, it happens, it does. And you're like thankful, you're like, oh my God, this one was not snail mail, this was DHL Express or it was UPS Express. And that's great, you know, but you have to be available to receive those,
yeah.
receive it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think every day we're not only conquering ourselves, but we gotta go the extra mile because we're gonna be hitting ball after ball after ball after ball after ball, like Rocky, like a boxer. I mean, every call is a round as far as I'm concerned, where I'm going pound for pound with whoever's on, like, you know, on the other side of that door or that phone call. And I gotta be able to like raise my fist at the end and say, there is a win in here. There is a win.
Can I say something to this?
Yeah, sure. go.
My coach this week said that she was like, she had a client that told her, she's like, I feel like every day when I'm prospecting, it's a battle. She's like, I feel like I'm going to war. And she was like, instead of seeing it like that, like, again,
Yeah.
flip it and be like, well, try to find the joy in it. Because if you
Yeah.
always think it's gonna be difficult, it's always gonna be difficult, you know?
No, I don't say that because I find it difficult. I'm just saying, like, it is around. Like, I'm prepared. I feel like Rocky when I go in there. But it's still like, still a battle of the words. It's still like, you know, Eminem going to the rap battle. For me, it is. You know, maybe at some point it's gonna be, I mean, it's still a conversation and it's still like, you know, waiting for snail to come in. But I don't think it's a negative thing that I'm, you know, putting myself in the expectations or the context of, you know, like I need to be able to raise my fist at the end of a call or any contact that I have. I don't think that's a bad thing because I need to like have little victories along the way, a little cookie along the way until, you know, the bigger cookie that I set my sight on actually comes to me.
So that's interesting, because now we're talking about. Now, it's interesting because now we're talking about the power of metaphors, right? Work is like war. I prepare myself for war every day.
This is Sparta.
This is for every call is a battle. Right? So now we're talking about the power of metaphors. Now all of a sudden you're convincing yourself that, you know, you're taking out your swords and what's going on internally, right? How tired do you get after you've been to war 46 contacts later? Right? Yeah, but sure. And I need a break. Some chocolate cake, maybe. You need a drink, baby. But think about that. If we look at the power of metaphors, how consistently can you keep doing this if you think you're going to war every day? What are you feeding yourself? War. I'm fighting. Fight. What does fight mean? I'm going against somebody. When you decide to sell somebody's house, you're not going against them. You're going with them.
Yeah, but it's not about the person.
Tell me.
It's about the protagonist that's in front of me. It's about the person, the obstacle in front of me on my road to.
So are they the protagonist or are they the antagonist in your story?
So what it's just the like, it's just another obstacle, and it makes sense, because, you know, like, nobody's gonna give it to you easily, like, you gotta work for it. and-
Why won't they give it to you?
Well.
Free market.
No, they will, when they know they're the greatest, what they're gonna give, they're gonna be lining up for you.
Yes, yes. Yes.
I got a call, I had a
There is
really
no
funny call.
about
I call, the guy goes, look, we're just thinking about it, all right, we're just thinking about it, and he's like, so,
not done.
he's very serious, like, we're not gonna choose anybody for like 6 months, I'm like, listen, my friend, and he was so angry on the phone, I just started calling, I'm like, hey, buddy, look. I'm not gonna get married before I go on a date, maybe you're not gonna be the right guy for me, so why don't we do the right thing and sit with each other next Wednesday?
And what did that,
We booked the appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
why?
he started laughing.
Why? Because this guy's trying to put up the swords. He's like, okay, no one's coming in. I've got this. No one's coming in. Nobody. Oh, look at this guy. Huh, I'll meet with this guy. Why? Because he was funny. He was relatable. He was able to connect with him. And guess what? He's probably looking forward to their Wednesday date.
Here, yeah, like.
Why?
It's gonna be fun.
Why? Because this guy was like, you are not letting, you are not coming in.
And I actually don't think that there's anything intrinsically wrong with the battle, concept yet.
This is not about wrong or right.
Fair enough.
Right? This guy said, you are not coming into my castle. And you said, all right, cool. It's not about you coming in a castle. It's about us meeting. Dude, I ain't gonna marry you. We haven't even dated yet.
Yeah.
He changed the context
Yeah.
of the game. And that's my point. That's the reframe. If somebody thinks you're gonna call them and you're trying to take something from them, they're gonna hang up on you.
Yeah.
But if they think that you're in alliance with them, they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, I'd like you to come see me because you're a partner. You're on my side. Huh. But metaphors is those hidden conversations that you have with yourself that define the way you look at life. So what are they for you? What are your hidden metaphors?
Okay. For the record, it's more like, it was less of a war scenario than just like a very strong exercise in working out and having to put a lot of energy into, you know, into a moment, into many moments, you know what I mean?
What
It's
if
kinda
you
like-
took your power of community?
Yeah.
Your, you said that you defined,
Abundance,
you
Yeah.
defined joy as community. And what if that's what you did? You bring buyers and sellers together.
I do.
And since you do that, you're the ally of the seller over the phone.
Exactly.
If they don't want to sell, that's okay. Because what would happen if everybody wanted to sell at once,
That was in the last few years.
right? Well, that's a whole other scenario and we'll talk about that on another day, but the point is that I wasn't even planning to go into metaphors today, but that's what we're doing. The metaphors of how you see things when it comes to work, when you,
Termites.
I started with termites, yes.
The house.
I know.
I said on you.
Think about it.
Snail mail, termites.
Termites, yes, especially if you have a house built of wood. Right? Look how strong. You see that, right? Right now, you're going through the house, but the metaphors that you hold are the strongest representations of how you define life. What are your metaphors when it comes to love, when it comes to work, when it comes to children, when it comes to freedom, when it comes to work, when it comes to everything? If you're able to find out what your metaphors are, you know, you start understanding how you see life. So how about we do that? I'm going to stop here and I'm not going to go into all of this other stuff because I wasn't not even supposed to go into metaphors. And maybe you guys write down 3-4 metaphors that you hear yourself telling yourself. You know, like Forrest Gump, life's a box of chocolates.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Like,
That's a huge metaphor that affected a lot of people's vision of life because it was so relatable. So I ask you, what are your metaphors of life?
Wants to sue. Right.
Like something is like something.
Exactly.
or-
Yeah, that's the definition of a metaphor. It's exactly it. What are your metaphors of life? That'll say a lot about where you find your battles and where you find your comfort.
For every credit, there is a debit.
Yeah, that is one of your biggest ones. Yes. You can write that one on your list. We've been talking about this one for 7 years. For every credit, there's a debit. That's his thing.
Where's that from?
My head. I mean, I'm sure somebody else has said it, but I never heard anybody say it. That's from accounting.
It's from accounting.
Uh,
It's from accounting. Guys, you have any questions for me? No? Any questions here?
My challenge is. Okay.
Thank
And-
you. Bye,
and I think I
guys.
shared this. I think, but